Today we explore the question, has XDefiant already died before the game has even come out? Now when we're talking about XDefiant, the main question is, when will this game come out? Which is why I've made like 8 YouTube shorts about the release date. And I could have made a lot more YouTube shorts about the release date. But the problem is, we really haven't had much to go off. Overall, it's been really silent from Ubisoft about XDefiant. I mean, our main source for XDefiant updates is Mark Rubin, the executive producer. And our last official hint of the release of XDefiant was back in early July, where we were told the plan was to launch later this summer. It's now September, and judging by the most recent updates by Mark Rubin, it seems like it's been a lot harder than they or we expected to release this game. So with all this silence, people have been speculating that perhaps the plan is to shadow drop the game. Now the term shadow drop, also known as stealth drop, is a term used to refer to games and other media that are released the same day they are announced or released without announcements whatsoever. However, at the time of recording this, Mark Rubin has confirmed that this in fact will not be the case. Which I have to say, in terms of the game's health, I think this is a relief. Of course I wanted to play the game, but shadow dropping it would not have been a good idea. Because even if XDefiant had loads of promotion and a massive marketing team, they're still going to be competing with massive games, especially if they plan to drop it in September, which is a big month in terms of gaming, with games like Starfield and Mortal Kombat 1 and EAFC 24, which I don't think will affect this audience as much, but me personally being from the UK, I'm going to be playing that. Furthermore though, this is why I think XDefiant has now gone into this kind of dangerous territory, because like I said, they're going to be competing with a lot of new games coming out in the next few months, especially in November when the big boss Call of Duty releases Modern Warfare 3, which obviously is XDefiant's biggest competitors. And of course, at the moment Call of Duty don't have their highest player count, but with the new game coming out in November, it could be very detrimental to XDefiant's success. And as much as people say it's just a reskin of the previous game, they plan on bringing back classic COD features, which was a huge turning point for XDefiant. A big reason as to why people would make XDefiant their new FPS game. And at the end of the day, it's Call of Duty. This next game could be the worst in the franchise, but it's still going to have a lot of people playing it. So what this means for XDefiant is that they're really going to have to blow people away with this game, which to be honest they already have done. I mean, the biggest factor of XDefiant is that the game is going to be free, which I think people underestimate how much of an advantage this gives XDefiant. I mean, if we look at Call of Duty's biggest competitors over time, like Battlefield, they've always released their games this time of year, like from September to October to November, and both Battlefield and COD have been at that similar $50 to $70 price range. So if the people who played COD, for example, got bored and wanted to play a different FPS game, they would have to spend another $60 to $70 just to play a more realistic version. So if the same thing was to happen this time round, people could just download XDefiant for free if they haven't already. Although in saying that, I think if they made Battlefield 2042 free, I still don't think anyone would play it. And of course, people who aren't even interested in FPS games will probably download XDefiant because they'll see it's a trending free game. Now let's get back onto what I was saying earlier about Ubisoft being way too quiet about this game. So with all this lack of news and promotion for XDefiant, we were really left in the dark. And whenever we did finally get an update, it was really brief, or it seemed like we were still in the same stage. Which is why for weeks, the only hope we had of this game still releasing was Ludwig's gaming tournament. We waited weeks for this tournament just for the small chance that we might get a release date. I'm now recording this after the tournament, and they confirmed in the first 5 minutes that they're still in the submission process. And of course, I understand the developers need time, and we're all willing to give them that. It's just the fact that there's really been nothing. No promotion, no marketing team, and I did think that maybe this is their plan. Maybe they're choosing to do no promotion and have no marketing team to save money, so that they can invest more money on the actual game itself, which is fair. But even then, there's no harm in just posting a small teaser on Twitter or Instagram. At least this is what I imagined they would do. And I'll say it again, I do understand that the current stage they're in is out of their control. Obviously, if they had the choice, they would have released this ages ago. But I just think even putting the eyes emoji is enough to get people hyped up, even if the game's not coming out for another year. So my point is, I think this silence has really affected them. I don't necessarily think people are forgetting about the game, nor do I think it would matter if they did forget about it, because of course, when they announce the release date, I think a lot of the hype will go back up. But I think it's more that people are losing interest, especially those who plan to transfer from COD to XDefiant, because it seems like Call of Duty are doing all the promotion for their new game, whereas XDefiant is just sitting silently in the corner. And overall, you can say that you prefer XDefiant as a game than COD, but if it doesn't have enough people playing it, it won't remain good. It's similar to Splitgate. Maybe you enjoyed playing that more than Halo. Not only did it come out of nowhere, but it was handled badly, and it lost a lot of players quickly, so of course it eventually died. However, I don't want to ever see people comparing Splitgate to XDefiant, because one's made by college students and one's made by a AAA company. Anyway, Splitgate being handled badly actually brings me on to my final point. Such a huge factor for XDefiant is that yeah, the game's not out yet, but they've already shown us the complete roadmap, the complete plan of the first year of XDefiant. Which game has ever done that? Once again, the game is not even out yet, and they've already shown us exactly what to expect in pre-season, how long it will last, as well as the next 4 seasons of the game, and in a lot of detail. Now this tells me that whatever happens, whenever this game releases, the future is exciting for XDefiant. So yes, maybe some people are losing interest, but like I said, once we finally get that release date we've been longing for, that hype that we might have lost is gonna go straight back up. And me personally, I haven't lost the hype at all. Of course, the ideal release date would have been mid to late August, but we didn't get that, and I'm still just as excited to play it and spend money on skins that I don't need. So to answer the question, is XDefiant already dead? No. Not at all. Is XDefiant going to die? Definitely not anytime soon. I really think this has a lot of potential that we haven't even seen half of yet. But that brings me to the end of today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And if you did like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps get my videos out there. And on the build up to XDefiant, I'm going to be making loads of YouTube shorts, loads of videos. I'm really trying to build this channel off of XDefiant, so I'm hoping the game has a lot of potential, as well as my channel. So if you do subscribe, it's going to go a long way. There's a big future ahead. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.